Guys, I was just filming another video for another game, and in that video, I was taking on a stage, a piece of content, and showing my whole process from beginning to end, full gearing to testing, failing, and then perfecting a run. And I realized it had been a while since I'd done that in Watcher of Realms. So I figure, let's do that. Why not? This is going to be kind of a live guide. I'm not live right now, but I'm going to try to cut as little as possible. I want to keep this clean and show you my entire process for how I tackle a piece of content. And that content is going to be Gear Raid 1. So yeah, guys, this is going to be a fun live style guide where I take you through the entire process front to back in 40 minutes or less, how to beat Gear Raid 1. We're going to progress this account from 19 all the way up through 21, as you can see from the future behind me. It went really good. Yes, the heroes used are quite strong. However, not many awakenings, not many special artifacts. We're actually a little light on the artifacts. The gear's solid, but not special. The main thing is we're missing a ton of skill ups. But a lot of people are in this situation, so hopefully this gives you some ideas and this helps you make it work. Thanks, guys.
Fastidious.
You can see at the time of filming this right now, the Lost Legacy tournament is live, the Oracle trial for Gear Raid 1. So I figure a pretty good time to hop on someone's account and show you guys how I approach progressing in this piece of fairly difficult content. Obviously, it always depends on your account. I'll try to give some other suggestions as we go. But really, what I want to do here is I'm on my friend Jamorn's account. He purchased a takeover, and I'm going to head into Gear Raid 1 and show you my entire process. I know this video won't be everyone's cup of tea, but some of you will probably really like it because you're going to learn a lot about how I gear and how I tackle different pieces of content. Today, it's going to be Gear Raid 1. If you want to see more stuff like this in the future, definitely let me know in the comment section below. And I know some of you are getting a little bit sick of hearing about a theory restart, but if you appreciate this video, I only had the idea to do this in Watcher of Realms tonight because I just did it in a theory restart. So if you appreciate the video, you appreciate the idea, I feel like transitive property, you appreciate a theory restart. So definitely consider checking out my other channel and downloading the game today. You will find my download link for the game as well as a link to my theory restart channel, Fasty Gotcha, in the description below, as well as the top pinned comment. And I suggest you give it a go. Very quickly, I will show you, this is my channel, Fasty Gotcha. I'm already up to 33 videos in less than 2 months, so I am grinding hard on this channel. And yeah, the channel needs a little love. Consider checking it out, but definitely consider checking out a theory restart because it is a really fun game, very challenging, but also very free-to-play friendly when it comes to hero collection. You got to be willing to grind, but hey, if you're playing Watcher Realms, if you're watching my stuff, I know that you're willing to grind, and you're going to be rewarded for it. So let's get back to the main stuff. Thank you to Etheria. Let's get to Jamorn's account, and let's take on Gear Raid 1. You can see fairly high BP on this account. He's at 3.9 million BP, but he's mostly a hero collector. He's been playing for a while. He has not really focused on progressing a lot of content. So he came to me for a full takeover. We already did Gear Raid 2 and then Gear Raid 3. So he came to me and he bought himself a full takeover. If you happen to be interested, I'll have a link in the description, but absolutely no pressure. You can also just learn from my videos or ask questions on my Discord, The Fast and Fastidious. Link for that also in the description. Apparently I'm doing 10 million plugs today. Whatever. So he got a full takeover. I usually go in this very typical order. I do Gear Raid 2, then Gear Raid 3, then Gear Raid 1. When I get these accounts that haven't really farmed any gear, I'll have them do a little farming in between. So that's what we did. He did a little Gear Raid 2 farming. Then I was like, okay, we can take on Gear Raid 3. We nailed that. We got 21 in that. And then I thought we were ready to take on Gear Raid 1. So you can see when he came to me, I believe this was at 19, 18, 19. And now he's at 19. We haven't touched this yet. 21, 21. So let's focus in on Gear Raid 1 now today. And let's see what he's cooking with. When you go into Gear Raid 1 on your account, or if you're doing a takeover someone else, whatever you want to do, you're going to want to key in on 3 factions. And those factions are going to be the top 2, esotericists and cultists. They just have the most AoE magic damage, and this is a stage where you need AoE magic damage. And then the final one would be Watcher. Why Watcher? Because Ingrid. And Ingrid is just the GOAT for this. I'm actually not going to use Ingrid because he has an A3 Ingrid, and that is too stupidly powerful. If we can help it, I will also not use Valara, but at the end of the day, this is a paid takeover, so if I need Valara, I'm going to use her. But let's go with my normal approach. We're thinking esotericists and cultists. You need a lot of AoE magic damage. There are a ton of units to kill in this content. I believe it's 61 at stage 20 and 21, or 19, 20, 21. Let's confirm that. 58, 61, something like that. 59. All right, your boy was in the realm. Forgive me. The reason I couldn't remember exactly is because I think it's 66 in 22, 23, 24, something like that. It definitely gets higher. You get more of those scourges, the guys with the AoE magic aura coming around. But I mentioned magic damage and I mentioned AoE because, yes, the large number of enemies, but also they don't really tell you because the tooltips are kind of a mess. If we go to map info and we get the little monster breakdown, you can see they're saying that the magic res and the defense is easy on all, first off, it's saying here it's easy, that's insanely low. False. And it's also saying they have equal amounts of defense and magic resistance. Magic resistance is just magic defense. That is not true. Their physical defense is super high. So it's very hard to penetrate that and deal enough damage with piercing damage or physical damage. You really need magic damage. It should say that defense is like here and magic res is somewhere lower. That's the reality. So you can get away with physical damage if you have incredibly high attack. But if your attack's not higher than their defense, you're not going to be doing anything. So you're really going to struggle. Or if you have physical DPSers like someone like Nezah, who does a lot, but then also has like execute, which is like a whole other way of dealing damage, which is just eliminating someone from the board in kind of a cheat code, similar to what Virna does. But in Virna's case, she also brings AoE DPS in the magic variety. So pretty good. Let's go in here. Let's sort by mages and fighters. And let's sort by esotericists and cultists, and let's see what we're working with. Right off the bat, incredibly good heroes, right? This is undeniable. I'm not going to get cheeky and use a bunch of epics. That's not the purpose of a video like this. I want you to be able to approach it with your own good full roster. Also, I don't think he necessarily has the gear to make that happen. One thing I'm also seeing right off the bat, some top tier options for this content are missing promotions. And yes, he doesn't have promotion mats. So unfortunately, some very attractive options, you know, like your Beatrix, like your Eris, Nezah, who I don't want to use because he's too strong for this, but they're off the table, right? So we got to think about who we can use. One thing we might be able to do is maybe not use legendary lords. I think that might be fair. So let's do that. Let's bring a Raiden, and then let's bring an Aeon. I think I can probably get away with that. If I can't, we'll come back and we'll turn it around. I am going to use Beelzebub just because he's the best in the game for this, and I really want to give him a place to shine, even at A0, even at anything. He's just got the greatest range for this of all time, and he's going to let me show off what I think to be the best strategy at this point. If you've seen any of my old guides or many of my old takeover VODs, my live stream video on demand on YouTube, you might see I always build from the left. I know a lot of people build from the right. It's mirrored, it doesn't matter, but I build from the left, and then I'll do a little bit extra DPS on the right, maybe some kind of debuffing or control on the right, someone like a Mari or a Lasir or an Artemis, maybe another healer. If you don't have Artemis, if you have like a Mari and a Greed here, maybe your Eloins here and your Hollows here. More and more now, especially with Beelzebub and like an A1 Diao Chan, I like to just forget this, only build up one side of the platforms, and then put people behind the wall. So that's what we're going to do today. And we'll be able to do that with Beelzebub. Let's go back now and let's see everyone else we were curious to use. I saw Magda. Magda is brilliant for this, even if she's not skilled. Why did I click on that? Yeah, she's not skilled. He does have skilled crystals, but I don't think we really need to use much. So we'll bring Magda. She brings a ton of damage. She brings pushback, so they're farther away from the wall at different times, and they can't deal a ton of damage. And then also her passive is going to buff herself and units around her, and let them deal a little more damage. So that's really good. And then let's go in and let's look here. So unfortunately, also Anora's not built out. We definitely have to use Virna then, and we're definitely going to use Comet. And you know what? Let's definitely use Boreas as well. However, right off the bat, we have a problem at hand. Because if we look at the map here, Beelzebub's going to go here. He's got 5x3 range, so he's going to get everything. All 5 of these platform units, the 3 in front of the wall, the 3 behind the wall. So what matters is the 3 behind the wall, and then these platforms over here. But whoever goes here needs to have some longer range or something like that. So here, Ingrid is the best choice because of her insanely long range, but also Dahlia would be very strong. I don't think I saw myself with Dahlia. No, we don't. So she's not going to happen. So now I got to think, how are we going to make this work? And actually, we can make it work with Comet because when he's doing his kind of like jump damage, he'll reach a little more. You could also do Boreas there and he's a little farther away. However, we're going to lean on Boreas as our solo anti-heal unit. If you had other anti-heal units, you could bring them in. I want to give a shout out to Zealous, who will be the video right before this one or right after. He's getting an enormous buff and he's going to be a very good anti-healer now. But we're going to just lean in here with Boreas and we'll make that happen. I will say it's going to be kind of hard because he's only a 0, so it's not going to be very consistent on the freeze, and I don't know how else we're going to be bringing freeze in here, but I think we can probably make it work. I might take a quick peek and see if he does have Artemis. No, he doesn't, so I think we're just going to rock and roll with what we've got here. Let's bring in Hollow for some healing. Though if he has Elwyn, she would be an even better choice, potentially. He does, but for now, let's just rock with Hollow. And now you can see we're filling out. So what I'm going to do is Boreas here, Comet here, Virna here, Beelzebub here, Bubba here. Then we're going to get Hollow. Now we're going to get Magda back here, and we should have one more spot behind the wall. So who will that be? Let's take a look. Let's take a peek and see who we could use. We got Valkyria is going to be a decent option, right? She's not going to be either of these affinities, but that's some good AoE magic damage. Eris would have been absolutely phenomenal, but we don't have the promo mats. That's very sad. We can check now for defenders. If he has like a Malvira, she could be very strong. He doesn't. He's a cheeky Cerberus. We could cycle in front of the wall. He's not there. He's not with promos. So definitely make sure to promote your units, guys. But our hands are slightly tied here. So let's actually zoom further out and let's think what we're going to do. Do we have a Constance? That would be some outside the box thinking. We do not. I was thinking when Beelzebub isn't ulting, we could ult with Constance and get a little extra stuff there, but we can't. We could lean on something crazy like an A5 Wukong. That could be a little bit of something, a little bit of burst. I don't think that's going to be too spicy. I think what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to bring Numera. Even in A0 Numera, even though it is single target, she'll just delete a couple units one by one, and that could be the difference for a little wall relief. We have one final spot. We're not going to do anyone else behind the wall since we're already kind of strapped there. So I think we will bring a little support for the side. It's going to have to be some kind of healer. And maybe we do bring that Elwyn just for a little extra oomph. Trying to think what else we could do, what some other options might be. Bit limited here in terms of what's built out and stuff. Also, I know we're going to be a little bit limited on the gear. So I think what we're going to do is, yeah, just keep it simple and probably bring Elwyn. The other option would be to bring Valkyria behind the wall for some DPS. Maybe actually I'll do that. I just think we're a little strapped for the AoE DPS gear. Let's bring Elwyn. So when Hollow isn't ulting, Elwyn will take over as the top source of rage regen, and it will just keep the whole thing cooking. But then does this become a little less accessible for people who don't have Elwyn? I think it does. I scratch that. Let's just bring Valkyria. We'll put her in a bad build and it'll be a little bit extra DPS, a non-affinity Valkyria. All right, so now it comes down to who should we build first? We got to kind of look at who's skilled out. So let's actually pop in here and let's look at our mages. We've got Virna, we got Boreas, we got Comet. I'm also a good bit worried about artifacts. No offense to Jamorn, but I just don't think it's going to be a great situation. Let's take a peek to confirm. And oh, it's doing that stupid what's recent stuff. Can you just show me what we have, period? Not terrible, actually. Certainly not good at all, though. Something we can work with undeniably. So let's look at skill ups. Boreas is not skilled up at all. He might have to get a couple crystals. This might actually get kind of hard. Virna is not skilled at all. Comet is not skilled at all. This just became a much harder takeover than I thought. My God, no one has skills and we only have 5 crystals. I think let's rock where we're at right now. And I actually think Comet's going to be our top DPS. I think we're going to lean into him. We'll work backwards from there. Jeez Louise. So I beat Gear 3 for him a couple days ago. He farmed it hard. He said he got some good drops. Looks like he did. A bit strapped here on the Soulbound Arcana instantly, though, I'm seeing. Not a great situation. Let's see our Wisdom. This is quite a beautiful piece. They got rid of that great button, so let's go to the Foundry and see how that might ascend. This is going to be a big moment for us. Oh, hell yeah. We can make 4 pieces. Okay. That's going to be the answer to our prayers. And guys, you can say like, oh, the gear is good, blah, blah, blah. He beat 321, which you can do by watching one of my guides or, hitting up my Discord. And then he farmed. I think it's been 3 days and he didn't have any of this stuff, none of it. And now he has all of it. And it's kind of that simple. Great piece there with a little rage regen. Tell me you've got attack bonus on one of these. We do. All right, this is coming together. He's done some crafting with all the farming he's done since this takeover began. So there's a lot of new stuff here. Look at this absolutely drop dead gorgeous piece. That's not going on Valkyria, not for today. Ooh, he's got a quad here. Are we going to get a little hammer action? Also, don't worry, guys. I'll try to pick up the speed a little bit. We are going to get a little hammer action. 31 hammers. This one's worth it. Nocturne, quad. No attack speed, but we got the flat attack. That's pretty spicy. Let's give this 5 more rolls. Let's get something decent. Gross. There it is. There it is. Best breastplate on his account now. It's that easy, guys. Don't be afraid to recast if you hit those quads. And all of a sudden, not skilled out, but this is a very good-looking Comet, right? 17K, you're looking for 16K plus. 17K is looking really good. Not the fastest, but not too slow. You want 1.6 second attack interval as the max. Ideally, you want faster. We got to 1.5, so even better. If you can get him closer to 1.4, 1.3, that's awesome, but it's okay. Tons of crit damage. This build is looking exceptionally good. That's not looking good. Let's get him in this tot over here. Sorry, Nastia. And there is going to be our Comet. Excellent. Now let's move on here. And I think the next most important DBS is going to be Virna, assuming we can get any semblance of an exclusive Virna build. And he does have one piece here, probably worth a recast. Now let's just see. Can we get any crit on any Cataclysm? That's tough, right? That is very tough. What about exclusive piece here? That is really nice, though. So if we could get huge crit rolls on everything else, we might be able to manage. He does get a 3% contribution bonus from being a cultist, but so far this is a total disaster. Let's see if he can't forge a little bit. He can't. Let's do 3 here. Really brutal to not get, not even one with any crit rate on the entire account. I know that feeling all too well. Let's double check that to make sure I didn't miss anything. All right, that kind of makes me want to pivot and maybe go broken here. This is a nice start, though. Is there really nothing? I think we just do it, and we're going to deal with missing some crits. I think that's going to be our life. All right, let's do it. No crit damage on that either, so also a disaster. We got any trips here? No. This is solid, and that's also solid. So we got up to 80%. Effectively, it's 83 with the collection bonus, as you can see. It's something, but it's not great. That is for dang certain. Kind of a tough look there, if we're being honest. Do we have a lot of stuff not built out here either? Here's a White Tower Trinket. How are we doing on Mithril? We're looking good. Probably I'll fast forward through this part. But if you don't have another tier of Twilight, this is a great thing. Just get some more attack this way. Don't be afraid to do it because it's a legendary, not a mythic. All right, so we finished that off. We got to promo 4, so it's going to be plus 18%. That is going to be the max. All that changes here is additional attack speed. She doesn't benefit from attack speed, and we could get a little bit more flat attack contribution. It is what it is. I'm also realizing, guys, if you've got something decent, right, like a tiered Twilight, and you've got any Malric stuff, don't be afraid to invest it, right? So here, it's not going to be much, but if we can get a little boost, it could be the difference between winning and failing. And this is a piece that you can be confident in having on your account, and especially with these lower tier ones. There you go, 230 extra attack. That could be something. I wouldn't use your greatest stuff ever if it's not something that's going to live on the account for a while, but you'll have a tier of Twilight forever. Okay, up next, we're going to do Magda. So, little Miss Magda, really rough with the skill ups here. Let's see. We're one skill up away on Magda from getting that additional 3% penetration. This is going to be everyone in her attack range, and it's more than you think. It's quite good. It's going to be everyone in her ultimate attack range. So it's this, right? That's a pretty big radius. I think it's also people directly adjacent too. So it's going to be right next to her too, right behind her, plus that attack range. This is kind of key. We have enough skill ups to guarantee it, right? Worst case, this takes all 5. I think this is who we invest our skill ups into. That lands on her pushback, which is something, but not what we're looking for. That lands on the ult, which again, we're not looking for. That lands on the basic, which again, we're not looking for. That lands on the ult, and it takes all 5. So this is called Watcher of Realms, guys, and the game hates you. Never forget that. Magda is a good unit because she's ignoring some defense, because everything she does is coded as basic attacks. She's a good option for Infernal Roar. Let's absolutely crank this attack to the moon. She's also cultist, so she gets the 3% collection bonus if we need it. There's a nice piece from Silas. Thank you, Silas. Don't forget to thank your Silas, guys. And let's see. Good looking piece here with some Rage Regen we can snag from Idril. So you can see it's actually even better than you think. We're only 1.5% away from a full crit cap. 95% plus, you're going to be fine. Let's look at these artifacts now. A great one here is going to be the Frigid Flame. She'll never be hit. She'll be behind the wall the whole time, so that's a great little option. Obviously, don't use an essence on that. The Magda build is looking spicy. We're looking pretty good on the DPS. The 3 main ones are done. The only 4th kind of relevant one is going to be Boreas. I don't care too much about Valkyria and Numera. They're just adding extra oomph. Now for Boreas, we're getting in kind of a tight spot with some damage, but he's dealing tons of AoE damage. So he's a decent person to put on this unfortunate skull, but be wary, he could die because he's going to have increased damage received. Only 10% when it's at max promo. I would not suggest max promoing this, but if you already got one, use it if you don't have better options. Let's think Soulbound Arcana now. Ideally, we're going to want attack bonus main stat. None there. None there. Spot's getting tight. Dang. All right, let's go to our wisdom. Is it time to level up our second piece? I believe it is. This one's slightly spicier. We don't hate this piece, but it is wisdom. I don't want to, like for an attack, for attack speed main stat, I don't really want to do that. This is probably good enough, even though there's no attack bonus. Kind of slim pickings here, though. I guess we might have to take one more wisdom peek, but let's look over here first. Oh, no, this is where we're going to need the wisdom. I don't want to waste too much stuff. All right, let's snag this crit damage. So we got a little one of each action. This piece is kind of terrible, don't get me wrong. This piece, we're in a tight spot, but hey, it's going to actively move the needle on multiple pieces of content on his account right now, so there's no reason not to do it. It's going to allow him to farm better stuff much, much faster, so in the long run, it's an excellent investment, even if these aren't the greatest collection of stats. And we're still leaving with a decent amount of bullions. And this piece is kind of the no-brainer. If it has attack bonus and you're at this point in the game, you're gonna do it. You need your Soulbound Arcana sets. All right, so now he's got a second set. Kind of weak, but hey, it works. Now we got to hunt for some crit rate. We're looking a little bit low. We absolutely need attack speed on this thing. And let's see. This piece is too DPS-y good for Beelzebub. Got this piece on Kai. That crit rate's looking too low. That is unfortunate. We're in a tight spot once again. Got some of these we might have to roll. Are any of these quads? That's got HP. We like the HP. Not mean to equip that. I'm assuming he's got enough spirits to get this up. Don't want to be recasting this either if we don't have to. Looks like we're in a tight spot. Let's see. Got anything like this? Okay, that's not too shabby. It has that flat attack to make up for that low roll. What is the highest crit rate? Here's this Yovar piece. Okay, that might be good enough. We got him to 99%. He's pretty fast. We got that attack speed amulet. Crit damage actually made it to 300. It's an okay build. Attack's low, obviously, but better than nothing. Now, those are our main guys. So from here, we've got our two guys, our two fighters, I should say, our two ladies. I think Numera, kind of want to feature her more, but I kind of want to show something off. We geared well. You can probably get away with a quick equip. Make sure some stuff's happening. They're leaning on this crit rate bangle, unfortunately. Makes me wonder if we can't find something a little better over here. That's looking rough. Yeah, okay, they're correct. But that means we could also, we're over crit rate by 17.5%. Can we ditch some crit rate elsewhere? Let's see that. We got this Kai piece, no attack speed. Maybe we can't. What's going on over here? They kind of tried to already make up for it for us. That's pretty cool. Wouldn't mind a little extra attack speed there. But there's no good options. So yeah, I think actually the quick equip wasn't bad at all in that case. So a little bit of an overkill, but hey, her attack's kind of high. Once we throw an artifact on, it will be kind of higher. She'll look great in a Shattered Hilt. That's looking good. And yeah, let's lean on a quick equip again. If you're finding it's not sufficient after your little review, you can build it yourself, or after you do a run, if you feel like those people aren't covering it, you can go back and build it out. But if you're confident in your main DPS builds, that's when you can use a little quick equip. Not excellent options here, though, unfortunately. I think we'll go... Guess we'll just go for the Realm Tear for when they're farther away. I don't want to think about this build too much. I think we're going to use some of this Ageless Wrath we used to beat Gear Raid 3 back when we had no Gear Raid 3 gear. That's looking pretty neat. Is this a Valkyria exclusive? No, it's not. I wonder, is there one on the account? There's the great one on Comet. No, it's not a good enough boost. Okay, let's rock with that. Crit damage absolutely through the roof. Attack, not great, but hey, when Beelzebub's ulting, she'll still do well. And speaking of Beelzebub, he's our last key unit before our healer, Hollow here. And with this amount of DPS, guys, we're probably going to be fine with the lack of heal reduction. Beres will put it out sometimes, not all the time. We should be able to cook. So we're coming in, we're still just under 30 minutes, probably with the edit, maybe like 24 minutes. I think we can get this whole thing done in under 40 minutes. That's going to be our little goal. So for Beelzebub, you want attack bonus as the main stat, undeniably, and then you want in the substats attack speed and flat attack. We don't really care about set bonuses unless the gear is really good. We can take a peek at the invig, but yeah, I'm assuming it's not brilliant. Not even a little. So let's just go broken set. Something anyone can do. Let's actually make flat attack the priority here. When in doubt, if you can get a tier 2 or tier 3 piece, you get a higher main stat contribution. However, we don't have a good option here for the ring. We did for that amulet. We got 6% more attack from the main stat, right? This is 60, and then these guys are 66. That's pretty cool. We look here, we want can't get a flat attack because that's the main stat. We want attack bonus and we want attack speed. And absolutely we need some kind of DPS set. Wow, kind of rough here. Let's actually think about if we ditch the attack speed, can we get something better? Yes, we can. Let's get that big thing from Kai. No Ancients there. Now we want flat attack, and yeah, we'll take that. He's still not slow at 371, not at all. The attack's pretty dang high. We got a Bubba exclusive at base promo, why not? 12.2. It's looking fine to me. A lack of rage regen kind of stinks, but that's life. We can live with it. Now, the Hollow build does need to be good. Let's see what she's cooking with right now. The attack is way too low. The healing effect is too high. Let's build her from scratch. If we could get her an Invig, it would be pretty cool. Starting off with a great first piece. Now we're instantly out of options. How's that possible? There's not a single attack bonus main stat Invig piece? What about Asclepius? Kind of tough. Yeah, this is kind of brutal. All right, well, I think we have to ditch it. Yeah, because if it's 2 missing pieces, then it's not worth just going ascending willy-nilly. Okay, we're going broken set, guys. That looks good. We do need to pick up a little heal effect since we're not getting a set bonus. Snag that from Dolores. See if we can't get something like that here. Let's see what this heal effect rolls. Absolutely awful. Wow, we're in a really tight spot. We have to use that piece. Let's go like this. Somewhat respectable. She's too slow. The attack is excellent. The healing effect is acceptable, though a little low. Circle back to this piece. I want the heal effect at least at 70. You know, we're going to have our Pantheon. We just want to get close to 100. That's a pretty clear soft cap. And let's see, what are our options? We got this Kai piece, no heal effect, basically. We might have to see if we've got like a heal effect main stat Ancient, which is just a nightmare. Got this one, but no attack bonus. No, I think we just rock with this build and we pray. And then we might have to be ditching Valkyra or Numera at the end and bringing Elowen in just for the Wood Elf, basically. Or some other healer. I don't know, maybe like an Asandai or something. All right, let's head into battle. Hopefully we absolutely obliterate 20. That's my expectation. I do think 21 might be a real challenge where we're at right now. All right, let's go in here with Comet and then Bubba. Using a Venoma would be really helpful here for that initial little burst of rage. Let's get... Ooh, I wanted Comet back, didn't I? But then I ended up building him as our main DPS. YOLO. I don't want to restart. Let's go Virna there. As soon as these guys are nearly ready, let's ult with Beelzebub. Let's ult with Comet. You want to ult with Virna as close to the end of Bubba's ult or the Inspiration unit's ult as possible, but before the healing starts, just so you get the max effect of everyone getting low so she can delete. But look how much damage we're dealing. Just a ton. Excellent. All right, we're going to put Magda, we're going to put Magda right here. So now she's giving the, one sec, she's giving the boost. Not to Comet, unfortunately. They're not counting the range. Maybe it's only when she's ulting she'll give it to Comet, because then that becomes her range, right? I think that's actually how it works. I never actually thought hard about it. There's Boreas. Probably a mistake to place him already. I needed to get Hollow down, because he will not be able to be healed by Bubba. Let's just hold out and see if he doesn't die. He does die. All right, let's restart. We're going to mix it up. We're going to go Comet there. We're going to go Bubba. We'll leave it in. It's part of the process. And I think we'll go Boreas there, actually, because we can get some anti-heal, and we just obliterated that beginning stuff. So Boreas, Bubba, Comet. Let's get Virna ready. We're going to hold off on Magda this time. We're going to get Hollow down first. Yeah, we're doing good. Virna can ult. No, her ult is not skilled, I just remembered, so that doesn't come around fast enough. Here comes Hollow, though. We'll chip away at it. This guy's pesky a lot of time, but we'll get rid of him. Let's ult with Hollow. Let's get there with Magda. Let's just let them heal up here. Boreas is at 21 seconds without the skill ups. Okay. Get a little, not Numera in the middle. Yeah, let's do a little Numera in the middle. She should be a little bit deleted. We'll check the damage at the end. It will be underwhelming because it's single target, but if she can just delete a couple guys, it gives us a lot of relief. All right, let's go Boreas. As soon as these guys in the back start moving, we're going to go Beelzebub, Comet. Let's get with Magda now. Let's get a big burst from Numera. Now we finally get Valkyria down. We're in pretty good shape. And you can see the wall is in excellent, excellent condition. So 21 will be the proper challenge. A little burst from Numera here if she can't delete a couple people. It is underwhelming, let's be honest. Numera is going to be the odd girl out without a doubt here. I'm going to let these guys linger just for a second. Let's get a little delete button from Virna. She's not going to kill all of them. Oh, she is. Okay, I thought that guy on the right would live. But hey, if you can be at 36 with the wall at this health, a lot's going to have to go wrong for this to fail. All right, let's go Boreas, Beelzebub, Comet, Magda. A little Valkyria, and here's a little reminder of Beelzebub's phenomenal range. Right as these guys are about to turn the corner, let's ult with Hollow. These guys are editing. Can we get some pickoffs? We can. A ton of pickoffs there coming with Numera, so she actually did do a bit of her job. Let's let these guys go low. We want to hold off for as long as possible right before the heal, so they're as low as possible. Delete them off the map, and we're good to go. And now Numera can really shine. We'll wait for Beelzebub, and she can delete this fool. And throw it on auto. All right, so first one was easy, as we anticipated. Sorry for that little flub on the first attempt with my mistime placement, not getting Hollow out. That was pretty smooth. I believe that took about 3 minutes of real time. Now let's move on to 21 and see if we can't wrap this thing up in style. And again, quick reminder, if you like this kind of video, let me know. I like making it. It's obviously very different for me. It's something I've only done a couple times. but I'm thinking, more of an instructional live style, but not actually live dealing with the chat thing might help some people. If it helped you, let me know. Let me know if it helped you. Let's head right back in. Sorry, I didn't check the damage. I'll check the damage this time. My apologies. Put comment in the back again. Bubba. Want to do the same kind of idea there. The unskilled Virna has me slightly worried that really the ult just taking so long to come back around. But we didn't need it too much that first run. All right, boom, boom, boom. So far, the damage looks really good. I also got to say that Vortex pull-in from Beelzebub is really clutch, bringing everyone into Comet's range. So he doesn't have to just rely on the jumps, right? That he gets from his skills, and just the one straggler, so we're in good position again. This guy deals very little damage, so we don't mind him hanging out there for a bit. Let's ult with Hollow now, and let's get Magda down. Once again, we'll let this first little bunch settle in. And then once they get low, we'll try to clean up with Virna. Let's get Numera once more. Let's go for a touch of Virna cleanup. And we're going to wait a moment. As soon as these back guys start moving once again, we're going to go Bubba and Comet. Let's get a burst with Numera. Let's get a little bit with Magda. Push them away from the wall. Finally, let's get our Valkyria down. The damage is a ton. We're doing great. So yeah, if you're willing to take your time and go incrementally gear aid to gear aid to gear aid, originally he had no shot to do gear aid 3. I mean, he might not even had 319. I think he did, but I'm not even certain about that. But he had no gear aid 3 gear. I said, just farm a little. I beat gear aid 221. I said, farm that out a little bit. Maybe he already had 221 beaten now that I'm thinking about it. Regardless, I said, farm a little 221 and then we'll do gear aid 3. And we just nailed it. And he farmed it hard for 3 days. And here he is, absolutely dominating this content. Let's let these guys sit. See if Virna can pick a couple off. Nice. The wall's still really in a really good spot. See if Numera can just kill this guy. Yep. Okay, let's go Valkyria, Beelzebub, Boreas, Comet. Here we go. Don't be too over eager. Only once they start turning the corner, let's ult with Hollow. I am worried about Hollow's healing. I want that on the record if and when this fails right now. Bryce is out here taking damage. That increased 10% is not looking good. Let's see if we can pick a couple off before Bryce dies with a little execute from Virna. Remember, the threshold I don't think is very low because it lacked the skill ups, but there we go. She did get the kills. Now Bryce isn't going to die, and we can rest easy. Okay, sweet. Can't keep healing once there's no one left, so the run is effectively over. And look at that wall. Obviously, we had some really, really good heroes to use, but a total lack of skill ups, right? And solid gear, but not great gear. And we definitely had to put some thought into making all the builds work. But in the end, work they did. So there you have it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I've been Fastidious. Let me know your thoughts on this video we watched here, or you watched here today, and I created just now. Again, thank you to Theory Restart for sponsoring a lot of what I've been doing lately. If you're interested, definitely check it out. Use the link in the description in the top pinned comment. Thank you guys. Share with your mother. Ooh, stats. I almost forgot. Look at that. Look at Numera doing more than Boreas. I told you she'd pull her weight. Look at that. We got Comet at 63. Magda at 48, Virna at 44, most of that's execution damage. Then we got Numera at 18, Bryce at 14, 6.6 for Valkyria, and even a little bit of damage from basically his artifact guaranteeing those crits with Beelzebub. Thank you guys so much for watching. Share with your mother. I've been Fastidious. I'll see you real soon. Bye.
Fastidious.